Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dinosaur in the Library. I'm Dawn, and if you've been here before, you can see I got a haircut. I just decided to shave it all off. It's 9 degrees away from hell here in Florida, so this is really nice, although it has been a very odd set of sensations, let me tell you. If you've ever had your head shaved, you know. So I am here today to do a review of Us Against You, which is the newest one by Frederik Backman. It's sort of the sequel to Beartown, and I'll link my review of Beartown below, because I did do that about a month ago. So Simon and Schuster contacted me and asked if I'd be interested in reading Us Against You, and I said, well, yeah, but I've not read Beartown, so they sent me Beartown, and then they were sending me Us Against You, and it kept not showing up. Apparently, the UPS has delivered my copy of Us Against You to some random house somewhere. So somebody in Tallahassee got a nice surprise. Hopefully there's someone who likes books and enjoyed it, even if it wasn't theirs, you jerk. But Simon & Schuster was very, very kind to send me the ebook so that I could actually read and review this, as I had been asked and had promised to do. So this is the lovely cover, without color, obviously, but if you've seen Frederik Backman's books, it has a very similar concept to all of his others, and it's actually a very pretty cover. I love the artwork they use, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the hell out of Beartown, and I was very excited to get to this one, because I've not been reading a lot of fiction lately, and I was very excited that I was into that, and I, got into it and read through it and finished it. It was a little tougher to get through this one, not because of the book itself, but just because of my fiction block. I don't know what the problem is, but I did really love this. It goes into a lot of the same themes as can be expected, because it is a sequel. So if you've read Beartown, there's a lot about toxic masculinity and sports communities, on top of a lot of other issues. Well, that issue that was in the first book is still being dealt with in this one. I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't read the first one. But that particular issue that was the major problem in the first one is still being dealt with. The queer content that was there before is still there. That character does exist in this book, and I'm very... I was pretty pleased with how Backman treated it. I think it's pretty accurate coming from a very small town. Whether or not it's Sweden or Alabama, I don't think it really matters a whole lot, because it seems like pretty similar. I come from a very small Alabama town where sports are a huge deal. Alabama Auburn football, high school football, all of those things are important. I think they probably take hockey a little more seriously than the football back home, perhaps. But I think the representation of how those communities treat LGBT people is not unreasonably off. I don't know a whole lot about Sweden, but judging from my own experience, I think that's pretty close, if a little bit exaggerated in this book from my own experience. I can't speak to what someone in Sweden in that same area might experience, but the characters are... like, everybody talks about Backman and his amazing characters, and he did it again. All these characters in here are really great. These are the only two of his I've read. I really want to get... I think Britt Marie was the next one I really wanted to read, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Again, fiction block. And so I want to talk a little bit about part of the ending. So if you have not read Us Against You or Beartown, please don't listen to this, mute it, and I will hold my Kindle back up when I've stopped talking about it. So I'll give you a second. Okay, so if you're still here, you've read this book, and you've read Beartown, obviously, probably at least, and I just want to say, what the hell was happening with Vidar? This kid gets himself sent to basically juvie, the Swedish version of juvie, to protect someone else, right? Protecting someone else. He didn't actually do anything. He went to juvie, if I read that correctly, right? He gets out, and then he gets hit by the car after him and Anna are having this relationship, and he's actually happy, and she's really good for him, and then Frederik killed him. Honestly, I felt it was unnecessary, dude. Just gonna say. So if you stepped away while I was doing that, well, no more spoilers, promise. was trying to think what else I really wanted to say about this book. The only thing I didn't like about this book is I feel like the first chapter was a little unnecessary. I felt like it was one of those things you get at the beginning of TV shows last time on Frederik Backman books, and I felt like it was a little much, but the rest of it, loved it. Loved the discussion of toxic masculinity. I think it was really, really good. I think it's a very important kind of conversation that needs to happen more often. The queer content was good. I did like it. The dude, the politician, Richard Theo, all I can say is, I mean, there's nothing supernatural in these books. If you've read them, you know. If not, you know, it's not a supernatural situation. It's just people. But the dude, the politician that's such a creeper, he reminds me of the guy in Needful Things that sells all the things. So if you've read Stephen King's Needful Things, and you know what I'm talking about, let me know if you agree, because he kind of reminds me of him, because he keeps giving people things and he keeps doing. So yeah. So I wasn't entirely happy with some of the ending bits, but I did really like it. I am still going to read some more Frederik Backman, and a huge shout out, thank you to Simon & Schuster for sending me this. And as I always say, yes, I do get free arcs and free e-arcs of things, but that does not color my opinion of them. I kind of hate some of the arcs I've read before, and I will tell you flat out. So this was my own opinion, completely uncolored by the fact that it was free. If you have not read Backman, I really suggest you go out and pick him up. I don't know anything about his other books, but I can tell you right now that Beartown and Us Against You are worth the read. So let me know below if you guys have read them. I've got some more reviews coming up soon. I've just discovered Muriel Spark. So yeah, I know I'm really late to that party, but what can you do? So I'm reading through some of her stuff right now. I'm also reading a book I'm reviewing for a journal, so that's kind of taking up a lot of my time. But I'm definitely going to be coming back soon with some more reviews. And again, thanks Simon & Schuster, and I hope you guys enjoy this. See you later. Bye.